Lesson 12-3, Solving Multiplication and Division Equations. And in this lesson, you learn to solve equations involving multiplication and division using models. Okay, so when are you ever going to use this? Knowing how to solve equations involving multiplication and division can help you find your rate of pay. So if you love your dog, don't let it eat chocolate. So an ingredient in chocolate is theobromine, can be poisonous to dogs. Just 2 ounces of chocolate could harm a 10-pound pup. So Zena determines that half of her chocolate bar is enough to harm a 10-pound pup. How much does her chocolate bar weigh? And we will solve this example. We will solve this problem in example 3. Okay, so if you didn't know that, make sure you don't feed your dog chocolate because of theobromine. Okay, it can be very bad or harmful to your dog. So cups and counters can be used to solve multiplication and division equations as we did in the past. And at the end of this lesson, I'll show you 2 properties of equality which you can use to solve these types of multiplication and division equations. So let's use cups and counters to solve 3s is equal to 15. Okay? So use cups and counters to represent 3s. Place them on the left side of the mat. Place 15 positive counters on the right side of the mat to represent 15. So 3s means 3 times s, so that means you have 3 cups. Okay? And then you have 15 positive counters. Remember, our objective is to isolate only 1 cup on one side of the equation, not 3. So we only want to isolate 1 cup. So this is 3s is equal to 15. Okay? So to be able to do that, since there are 3 cups, we need to undo multiplication by dividing each side by 3. So show division by 3 by forming 3 equal groups on each side of the mat. So how do you do this? We want to only make this 1 cup, and to be able to make this 1 cup, we need to divide this by 3. So we divide that by 3, okay, 3 circles, okay, and then remember what we talked about. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you need to do to the other side. So we divide this by 3, then that means we need to divide 15 by 3 as well. And you have, if you divide 15 by 3, you have 3 groups of 5. So we basically did 3s over 3 divided by 15 over 3. Okay, the result is s is equal to 5. Want to check if our answer makes sense or not, we simply get the 5 and substitute it back to our original equation. 3 times 5, is it equal to 15? Yes, it is. So the solution for this particular equation is 5. Okay? Let's take a look at example number 2. In example number 2, use cups and counters to solve 2x is equal to negative 4. Again, we use 2 cups to represent 2x. These are your 2 cups. And place them on the left side of the mat. Place 4 negative counters of the mat to represent negative 4. Okay, so this represents 2x is equal to negative 4. So we want to undo, remember we want to only isolate 1 cup, not 2 cups. So in order to undo those 2 cups, okay, we undo multiplication by dividing each side by 2. Show division by 2 by forming 2 equal groups on each side of the mat. So basically we divide the cups into 2 groups, and we divide negative 4 into 2 groups as well. Okay, so this is now 2x divided by 2 and negative 4 divided by 2. Okay, and we end up with x is equal to negative 2. 1 cup will equal negative 2 counters. Okay, so checking our answer if it makes sense or not, we simply get the value of negative 2 and substitute back to our equation. Is negative 2 times 2 equal to negative 4? Yes, it is. And therefore, the solution is negative 2. Okay? So let's take a look at example number 3. And then we'll talk about the 2 remaining properties of equality. So refer to the beginning of the lesson. How much does Zena's chocolate bar weigh? First, write an equation to describe the situation. Again, we need to define the variable. In this case, we let B represent the weight of the chocolate bar. B represents weight. So our equation would be 1/2 of the bar, which is 1/2 B, equals, okay, 2 ounces or 2. Okay, so we want to solve the equation 1/2 B equals 2. Okay, remember, 1/2 B equals 2 means that 1/2 B is the same as B over 2. Okay, so remember that. So basically this is a division problem. So 1/2 B is the same as B over 2, and this is a division problem. If you recall what we did here, when we are multiplying, okay, 2x, okay, we undid 2 by dividing both sides by 2, because the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So in this case, since 1/2 B is the same as B over 2, we need to undo 2. Remember, a fraction bar indicates division. We need to undo division by multiplication. So in order to undo 2, we need to multiply both sides by 2. And that's exactly what we did. Multiply both sides by 2. We undo the division by multiplying each side by 2. Then you end up with B is equal to 4. Okay, because 2 times 1/2 will be 1. 1B is the same as B. Again, 2 times 2 is 4. If you want to check if our answer makes sense or not, we simply substitute the value of 4 to our original equation. Okay, and then we do 1/2 of 4 is it equal to 2, and yes, it is. So the solution is 4. Zenith's chocolate bar weighs 4 ounces. Okay, and let's talk about this using properties of equality. Remember when we talked about addition and subtraction properties of equality. Okay, so properties of equality, let's review. Okay, in addition property of equality, so let's do addition. So in the addition property of equality, it simply states that if we have is A equal to B, then that means A plus C is equal to B plus C. So whatever you add to one side, you need to add to the other side. In the subtraction property of equality, when you have A is equal to B, you have an equation. You have A minus C is the same as B minus C. Whatever you subtract to one side, you need to subtract to the other side. And in this particular lesson right here, we have the multiplication property of equality, which states that if you have A equal to B, if you multiply A with C, it is the same as multiplying B with C. Okay? And the division property of equality simply states that if you have A equal to B, then if you divide A by C, it is the same as dividing B by C. Okay, whatever you divide to one side, you need to divide to the other side. Now let's see how these particular properties of equality, okay, can be used to solve, let's say, 4x plus 4x is equal to 12. So let's ask ourselves, 4x is equal to 12. 4x is what operation? We know that 4x is a multiplication operation. And in order to do multiplication, we need to use inverse operation, which is division. So in order to undo 4, we need to divide both sides by 4. Okay, so we undo 4 by dividing both sides by 4. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. So we are left with, okay, x is equal to 3. Okay, and if we want to check if our answer makes sense or not, okay, substitute the value of 3 to the original equation. So you have 4x equals 12. And let's substitute 3 and see if it'll make the equation true. So 4 times 3, is it equal to 12? Yes, it is. 12 is equal to 12. So the solution is x is equal to 3. Okay, let's take take a look at another example. 3m. Okay, so we have 3m is equal to negative 15. Okay, 3m is equal to negative 15. We want to isolate m on one side of the equation. That means we need to undo 3, and we know that 3m is a multiplication expression, 3 times m, so we need to undo m by using division. So we undo 3 by dividing 3m by 3. And since it's an equation, we need to divide the other side by 3 as well. So we're left with m, okay, is equal to negative 15 divided by 3 will be negative 5. Okay, let me give you another example. Let's say we have x over 3 is equal to negative 2. Okay, so we know that x over 3 is a division expression right here. So that means if it's division, we undo division by multiplication. So we need to multiply both sides by 3. So in this case, we have x over 3 equals negative 2, and we undo 3 by multiplication because it's division. The fraction bar indicates division. So we multiply both sides by 3. We undo 3, so we're left with x is equal to negative 6. Okay? And that's how you use the properties, the 4 properties of equality. Addition and subtraction, we use this in lessons 1 and 2. Multiplication, division, we use this in lesson 3. Okay? And that's it. The secret word for this particular lesson, you already know, is Starbucks, I think. That's what I said. Okay? Thank you for watching.